It's time for our basic first mark sheet of the match as Sanjay Manjrekar begins marking players from the Mumbai Indians and the Rajasthan Royals.
Basic First, specialized platform for JEE Main Advanced, NEET and 6 to 12.
Right, Sanjay, time to mark players from the winning side. First, the Mumbai Indians. Let's start with Surya Kumar Yadav, the man of the match. How would you mark him out of 10 for today's innings?
Yeah, quick confession. Again, the palpitation is a bit high, mark sheet, and suddenly I'm under tension, but I have to give marks, right? So, Surya Kumar Yadav, 10 out of 10, because played through the innings. The last 6 overs was slightly outside his comfort zone, but he batted beautifully, got hit on the head, but showed courage, like a typical Mumbai batsman, if I may add, and get a few people riled up. So 10 out of 10.
Wonderful. Jasprit Bumrah records the best bowling figures of this year's tournament. How would you mark Bumrah out of 10?
I'm going to deliberately take marks away because this guy is capable of so much more. And when he came into bowl, I mean, he got the important wicket of Steve Smith, but it was a slightly easier, game for him. And in the end, he stopped celebrating as well when he got a wicket. So by Bumrah standards, it was a slightly easier task. So I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10.
Fair enough. Trent Boult took the new ball again and managed to get a wicket and a breakthrough yet again. Added the wicket of Samson as well. So back-to-back good games for Trent Boult. How would you mark him out of 10?
Yeah, and two different deliveries. One was the typical Trent Boult swinging one and Sanju Samson's short ball. So this was Boult showing his class as a test bowler. And it's great that Mumbai Indians have backed him, given him the new ball. The pitches are suiting him. He's an earnest cricketer. He tries very hard. So very hard for me to take any, marks away from him. So again, for Boult, for today's performance, 10 out of 10.
Lovely. Let's go to the Rajasthan Royals. A one-man show of sorts in response. Butler top scoring with 44 balls, 70. How would you mark him out of 10?
Yeah, you watched him and you felt like you were watching a chained tiger. Because this is a guy who really wants to go after the bowling, express himself, but wickets falling at the other end, so he was conscious of that as well. But despite that, this guy keeps reminding us as to why he's arguably today the best T20 batsman in the world. And some of the shots that he plays with the calmness. So he showed his class, and it seemed like the rust completely has come off. Fantastic innings were played for a weak team against the odds, but the quality just shone through. And while he was out there, we've seen some, unlikely results. And while he was out there, anything was possible. So I would say 9 out of 10 to Butler.
What about Shreyas Gopal, who recorded his best effort of the tournament so far? He's a big player for Rajasthan, been quiet first few games, but back-to-back wickets for him today. Rohit Sharma and Ishan Kishan. How would you mark Shreyas Gopal out of 10?
See, Gopal has shown his potential, his temperament, his skills last season, and he hasn't disappointed this season. It was a difficult game, superior bowling, batting side. The pitch had nothing for him, bowled in difficult situations, bowled in the first 6 overs as well. So, tremendous. When you look at, what you're faced with and the challenges that are set, it might seem a bit high, but I'm going to give him 10 out of 10 because really at this stage for the spinner, there's nothing in this tournament.
Right. What about Karthik Tayagi on his IPL debut? How would you mark him out of 10? The wicket of Quinton de Kock to his name.
Okay, so just watched him for the first time. There's a bit of Brett Lee in the way he runs in, and it's not an Indian sort of wind up in the way he bowls. It's a bit Australian-like. So clearly that has been manufactured and he's been taught that kind of bowling action. Seems to have some pace about him. But what was striking for me was that when he bowled short, there was pace, but he pitched a couple of balls up and he was quick in the air as well. Now that is something that is a real gift, because when the pitches are dead and when you're really against the wall, if you're quick in the air, you can survive. So, a talent that will, again, get all of us to watch. How he goes ahead and develops is another matter. So for the moment, just the potential, I would say 8 out of 10.
All right, Sanjay Manjrekar, thank you very much for marking players from the Rajasthan Royals as well as the Mumbai Indians. That sums up our basic first mark sheet of the match.
Basic First, specialized platform for JEE Main Advanced, NEET and 6 to 12.